What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
Gay marriage.
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 Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
The gay rights movement can be traced back all the way to 1969 in Stonewall, New York, when gays/lesbians went to clubs/bars, the police would raid them and kick them out. I've recently learned that Jason Collins of the NBA has come out gay. He posted this, he was all freely open about it, and he told the whole world that he's gay. He was the first gay athlete to come out in sports. Roy Hibbert of the Indiana Pacers in the NBA has used a remark of gay out when he was getting interviewed. He was fined $75,000 for it, and he deeply apologized for it, and he has nothing against gays and lesbians. This remark is an example of how society discriminates against gays without thinking about what they actually say. Well, the gays and lesbians had enough of it, and they started fighting back.
What some gay activists are doing to get their voices heard is that they're going to their legislators and trying to get bills passed to support gay marriage and all other gay rights.
Story, Chris?
And Kelly, in 2004, same-sex couples lined up here at the Multnomah County building for marriage licenses. Thousands were handed out. Well, the state Supreme Court eventually put a stop to that, and then Oregon voters defined marriage as between a man and a woman. Tonight, now 9 years later, same-sex couples are looking to D.C. for help. Cheering and holding signs.
Doma needs to go away.
They react to passing cars. More than 200 people on the steps of the federal courthouse, some with personal reasons to be here.
I'd like to be able to have the choice.
Others just here to show support. All here because Kelly Reagan still isn't quite sure how to introduce her family.
And my wife, Patty. Well, our domestic partner, Patty.
Well, these people may not be here for Reagan specifically.
That the right to marry is a fundamental right.
They're here for the thousands like her, fighting for same-sex marriage.
And I think every person who loves someone has that chance to have equality.
The U.S. Supreme Court is hearing arguments this week on a challenge to California's Proposition 8, banning same-sex marriage, and on DOMA, denying federal benefits to same-sex couples.
Everybody deserves equal rights, especially equal civil rights.
Some here in Portland
I'm very optimistic.
Feeling better about it than others.
I don't see it happening yet.
I think it's going to be baby steps, but I think these are important steps this time around.
Down with Doma tomorrow.
As some push to get same-sex marriage on the 2014 ballot in Oregon, people on each side of this debate, even the Attorney General,
We are moving in the right direction. Here's what he said.
keep a close eye on the Supreme Court this week.
In 2001, the Netherlands became the first country to legalize gay marriage. Since then, up until today, there have been over 15,000 gay couples that have been married. Just recently, there have been 11 states currently in the United States that have been legalizing gay marriage. The most recent one is Maryland, and they just did it this past May in 2013. President Obama is the first president to say he is supporting gay marriage.
I have to tell you, as I said, I've been going through an evolution on this issue. I've always been adamant that gay and lesbian Americans should be treated fairly and equally. And that's why, in addition to everything we've done in this administration, rolling back Don't Ask, Don't Tell, so that outstanding Americans can serve our country, whether it's no longer defending the Defense Against Marriage Act, which tried to federalize what has historically been state law. I've stood on the side of broader equality for the LGBT community. And I had hesitated on gay marriage, in part because I thought civil unions would be sufficient, that was something that would give people hospital visitation rights and other elements that we take for granted. And I was sensitive to the fact that for a lot of people, the word marriage was something that evokes very powerful traditions, religious beliefs, and so forth. But I have to tell you that over the course of several years, as I talk to friends and family and neighbors, when I think about members of my own staff who are in incredibly committed monogamous relationships, same-sex relationships, who are raising kids together, when I think about those soldiers or airmen or Marines or sailors who are out there fighting on my behalf and yet feel constrained, even now that Don't Ask, Don't Tell is gone, because they're not able to commit themselves in a marriage. At a certain point, I've just concluded that for me personally, it is important for me to go ahead and affirm that I think same-sex couples should be able to get married.
People think that Christianity and Judaism have to do something with that role of gay marriage. Look at the story, for instance, of Adam and Eve. God sent a man and a woman down to represent that marriage should be between a man and a woman.
One reason I do not believe in gay rights is because it goes against my religion. In the Bible, it does not say that a man should marry a man. It should say that a man should marry a woman.
People say that the point of getting married is so you can have kids, then infertile couples would not be allowed to get married, which means that gay people should be allowed to get married because infertile couples are allowed to get married.
My thoughts on gay marriage is that it's a person's right to choose if they should be gay or straight. It's the whole thing with freedom in America. They can choose what they want and who they want to be. It's not the government's choice. It's your choice.
I think that gay marriage should definitely be legalized because I feel like it's everybody's right to choose who they want to spend the rest of their lives with.
I think that gay marriage should be legal just because you should be allowed to love whoever you want, so it should be legal to marry whoever you love.
I think gay marriage should be legal because we're all equal and we all should be treated as equal. And if straight people can get married, then so should gay marriage.
So I am in full support of gay marriage. I think it's ridiculous that the government can tell people who are in love that they can't get married because love is love, no matter what gender is what gender is involved. And so I'm a firm believer that gay marriage should be legalized.
I definitely think gay marriage should be legalized. I think that everyone has their right to love whoever they want. I definitely think that if gay marriage would be legalized, the world would be a happier place, and I think there would be a lot less hatred in the world if everyone was even and everyone was equal and everyone could do whatever they want. So I definitely think it should be legalized, and I have gay cousins who are just like me, just like everyone else.
So Eliza, what do you think about legalizing gay marriage?
I think it's good and it should be legalized.
I agree. I think everyone should be able to marry whoever they want, no matter their sex.
Gay marriage should be legalized, I think, because how are gay couples any different than me and some girl, or you and some girl, or some girl and that guy down the hallway, or, it's bull. I think people, if they love each other, should have the right to marry each other, should have the right to have children, whether they be adopted, or whether if they're two women one of them have a child. I think that should be completely legal and should be supported by our government.
People say gay marriage should or should not be legalized. For one, I think gay marriage should be legalized. Why? Because if two people love each other, then by all means, I think they should spend the rest of their life together.
I think gay marriage should be legalized.
I want to know what it's like to feel like I belong, to feel like I am strong, that who I am isn't wrong. I want to know what it's like to have liberty and justice for all, to break down the wall and remove hatred from the law. I want to know what it's like to feel like I am complete, not as though I am weak, and not be silent when I speak. I want to know what it's like to not be considered a disease, to not have the majority I have to please, to freely express my individuality. I want to know what it's like to live in a land truly free, not a land that excludes me. That is not how it's supposed to be. I want to know what it's like to live. I want to know what it's like to live. I want to know what it's like to overcome all of my fears, to uncry these countless tears that have been shed over the years. I want to know what it's like to have a government that won't instate unfair laws that provoke hate for fear that society will disintegrate. I want to know what it's like to live in a world without hate, a world that won't discriminate, a world in which everyone will feel safe, whether they are gay, bi, or straight. This world we must create. These are the actions we must take. These are the decisions we must make. The time is now. We must not, we will not wait. I love her, and she truly loves me. I love him, and he wants to marry me. It's time to spread equality for eternity.
Brian, leave the room.
People say that marriage is all about. People say that getting married.
People say gay marriage. Stop it! Anyway, I gotta get this done, pal. Here I believe in Big Ben. Stonewall, New York. On the way to
What is so funny?
you! Alright, let's try it again.